Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Notice the tape's probably a little bit off compared to how it normally is. That's because I got my camera close enough on the first try that it didn't bother realigning the tape. Aqua's also here. She's sleeping in my cardigan, and she's very comfy there. So she might squawk and protest when I talk. Let's see. Where's all my stuffs? I don't feel so hot. I just got back in town yesterday. And I also developed some sort of like GI thing the last couple days I was gone. Probably picked something up from my house of 28 people, relatives from the first part. And the traveling all day yesterday wiped out any energy I had built up in the from just basically sleeping the last few days. So I'm pretty toasty. So we're only gonna do winning today. It's gonna be Robert Oster, Maroon, 1789. I might do some scans and stuff after I write this review, because I need to do that, because I'm behind on how far ahead I normally like to be in having everything set up, because I was gone for a week. Okay. Where are the pins? And then here's the sample. Aqua's also clinging to me because, like I said, I was gone for a week and I got back yesterday. So this is her normal modus operandi, is cling as soon as I get back. Isn't sickness great, guys? Okay. Yeah, I'm just operating on like minimal. Who the fuck is texting me? Oh, that's probably the Twitch app saying you can monitor your stream from your phone. Yep, that's exactly what that was. Cool. Thanks, Twitch. I already knew that. Okay. Let's get to filling. Yeah, if I have people join me, I'm gonna say it's a minor miracle today. Because that one person on the viewer counter is myself, because I do like to see what the output looks like on the Twitch viewer end to make sure everything's not awry, because there is a difference between my back end, the Twitch back end, and what you actually see. So yeah, that's just me. And I mean, it bumps my viewer counts, but like by one person. I'm gonna have to make it to the store at some point. I wonder if Kroger's gonna be open tomorrow, because today is just leaving the house is a questionable prospect. Tomorrow I'll definitely be more up to it. It's just, wow, that wiped me out yesterday. Lots of traveling. Okay. Okay, we're gonna cap this. It doesn't go spill everywhere. Okay, we're ready to go. I don't know why I was looking for this. It was right here. That's what I was looking for. Ye old pencil. Pencil needs the sharpening. Ta-da. That I thought it was a blob of ink. It was a little blob of who knows what. My handwriting is also going to be funky today because I slept weirdly on this hand and it's my dominant hand. So, yeah, it's all strange. I'm starting to see some sheen, I think, from this. Oh, wait. Letters are challenging today. Hola! Hello, everybody. And I love how I have to clarify. It's like, no, this isn't Yuri. Hello, Yas. It's just like everyone saw the post at the same time. This is drying slightly strangely. Like it looks, I don't know, it's a weird effect. It could be just on the cream paper. But yeah, the reason I'm only doing one ink today is because I have been sick the last few days and my brain is not all the way there. Like, concentrating on writing these letters is more difficult than it should be. I hope I feel better soon too. I'm feeling a lot better. It was just that I traveled all day yesterday, like all day. Like left my aunt and uncle's house at 8:30 in the morning. I did not get home until like 11 last night. And that wiped out any like built up stamina I had from the previous couple days. So yeah. I think tomorrow I'll be fine, but traveling when just getting at the tail end of sickness is always rough. No, I hope I'm not dead from plague tomorrow. I'm doing, like I said, I pretty much collapsed in bed home last night after Aqua demanded snuggles because I've been gone for a week. And slept till like noon today, and that did wonders. Then, like, actually fed myself something and like drank some water, and it was like, oh, look at that. But I'm still like not operating at 100%. Speaking of Aqua, she is currently like under my cardigan, like napping, and I'm amazed that she is not like chirping. I did have to get a burb sitter. Normally, like, neighbors or friends are able to do it, but like no one was available this time, so I actually had to hire someone, which is challenging when you have an atypical species because people are like, "What?" But luckily, I looked at one of those like dog sitting apps and messaged them. I'm like, okay, so Aqua's a bird, not a dog, but they didn't have an option for dog. They had dog for bird. They had dog and cat. Would you be up for trying it? I understand if not. And some people were like, nah, which I expected, and a couple people were like, sure. And so yeah, and it worked out fine. See, it worked out in like, but yeah. But Aqua, as always, is very clingy. She always is when I come back. even no matter if I'm gone for like 2 days or like a week, she's always like, "You left me. How dare you?" She's a very good burb. She would definitely say she's the best burb, but there's probably other burbs out there that could compete with Aqua for best burb. I don't know who they are, but they're probably out there. Yeah, this ink looks real like dusty on the gray or not gray brain, the cream Tomoe River. It's got like a dusty sort of effect, which I was not expecting based on the swab. It might be the cream paper, it might be Tomoe River. I don't know. That's true. There is. I heard a story over a weekend about an African gray parrot that had to get moved home because it had such a potty mouth. It couldn't stay in like I don't know whatever facility like public teaching facility it was originally in. It had like picked up such a potty mouth that someone had to adopt it and take it home because it wasn't appropriate for public. Like it would just like swear at children. And then it figured out how to use Alexa. And so it ordered itself its favorite treats off Amazon. Ow, what Akiwa? What? Aqua keeps trying to bury herself deeper and deeper into my cardigan and is upset that my skin is in the way. It's like, wait, no, this is supposed to be blanket. Or blanket like object to her. I'm noticing this ink isn't behaving as well. In the dry pen, it's struggling a little bit. So this is probably a drier ink. Don't want to use it in something that's drier. The thing is about parrots is especially like the real smart ones, like African greys, you don't really train them. They'll like just pick things up on their own, like any sort of toddler will. And you're just like, how? How do you know that word? Oh no. Not puke from Burb Cat. Strange. I'm not liking this as much as the swab would indicate I would. Did he make you get a separate account? So you're not just like one huge, one amorphous double account? It's amazing how different this one is looking in the different pens. It's much more red in the dry and the regular writers, and it's got a lot more like brown overlay in the wet writer. With all these like reddish brown sorts of things, I always love them in the swabs. Um, and then I never like them as much when writing with them. Ew, Aqua, what? What? Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, it's not fun. So Aqua's just gonna sit here at the edge of the screen and probably chew my fingers. If she doesn't then try and chew the pen, which could also happen. Yeah, this is not fun to use in the dry pen. Not at all. I mean, I've used worse. Why did I put a box around it? I don't know. There's just going to be a box around it. This is the one where I don't put... Yeah, no. This is... Don't use this one in a dry pen. You will regret it. Wrong way with the... I mean, it's marginally okay in the hemisphere, so the regular one, but it's really only like nice to use in the red writer as a dry ink, which I wouldn't have been able to tell you from swabbing. It didn't seem like it when I swabbed. Yeah, it's perfectly fine to use in the wet writer. Aqua, no. Almost got bird prints all over the paper. She's now on my head and will probably chirp at you now. So now for shady paper, this is always fun. Oh, my brain is just whoa not here today. Aqua, what are you doing? Being mischievous. So it's much more pleasant to use in the dry pen if you're using it on shitty paper that's helping just draw the ink out through the pen. Aqua, no. There, you get your kiss. The good news is this seems like it's going to be a great ink to use if you have to use shitty paper. Because it's working real well on here on this side. Like, I can't really discern any, like, bad feathering or anything. It just means you won't be able to use it in, like, on any of your other papers. It'll be a dedicated shitty paper pen ink combination. Of course, the fact that it's not feathering doesn't mean jack shit about the bleed through. Aqua, I'm currently trying to... I can't give you head scritches. Can I go on camera? You're the one who wanted scritches. She's just like shoving her head into my hands right now. This is all her. I am not holding her there. Ow, what? Is the pen evil? It's entirely possible the pen is evil. Of course you would say that. Yas. What? What? Are we having a pen brand war in the chat here? I'm snuggling a burb. This should put an end to all wars. I need to flip the paper over. Okay. So the wet pen is not great, as most non-wet pens are, but the bleed through is not terrible. So if you have this ink, what is the Maroon, Robert Oster Maroon 1789, and you only own dry pens for whatever reason, Great, you now have a shitty paper dedicated combination. You can say fine nibs are evil, but I personally pretty much only use fine nibs, as do a lot of people. I wasn't about to go shell out for nibs that I don't even use just for ink reviews. And this also puts the rest... It always drives me crazy when people are... like, oh yeah, use a fine nib for shitty paper. I'm like, well, it matters how wet the fine nib is, as you can see. The Pilot is actually the finest of these in terms of actual nib width, but it's the wettest. Were you saying I'm wrong? Okay. So, now that this is dry a little bit, I'll give you the Rhodia little snapshot. Because that's kind of the most neutral of them. But yeah, it was horrible using this ink and anything but the wet nib. And do you want more snuggles now, Aqua? No. I thought you wanted snuggles. And okay, well now we're going to war with my fingers. I don't know. Yeah, we're now going to war with my fingers now. Boop. 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 Oh, is this comfy? Now you're getting snuggles. What? Am I not hitting the right spot? Is that why you're protesting? Here we are. No, this is the most comfy position. What? What is it? Okay, you just want to chew my fingers. Well, I'm pretty much done. Clearly Aqua is making my life difficult. I only said I was going to do one setting out, because my brain is clearly fried. But yeah. So thank you for joining me. I'm willing to hang out a little bit longer and give Aqua snuggles if you guys want to hang out. Like, I'm very capable of doing that, but ink reviews aren't happening for the rest of this stream. It'll just be Aqua snuggles. I figured that as much. I was like, burp content is always good content. haven't had a solid Aqua appearance on the stream in a while. Like flashes here and there. Definitely more wholesome than my week home with family. How many family members did you have, ND? I had 28 in a single house. What? I stopped. What? Hey, thanks, Yas. Oh, God. Yeah, the house, we had rented a giant house for this gathering. So, like, it wasn't like we were trying to shove 28 people into a normal size house. It was a giant house, so we could spread out a bit, but it was still a lot of people. But yeah, I was very done after the end of the 4 days. Were they, though? Were they really? Were you just saying this? Really, Indy? You went there? I was gonna say I was also in the frozen north, but you were in the more frozen north than I was. I'm assuming you were home in North Dakota. I was in northern Michigan, so close-ish. But North Dakota is just cold. I mean, there are hicks everywhere in Michigan. It's a very diversely populated state. Tell you, it was real weird coming back because it was like 19 when I woke up yesterday morning in Petoskey, and then I got back and it's a high of 68 today here in Atlanta. Yeah, Michigan's weird like that. You have that plus like intense pride in everything Michigan specific, like cherry everything, Ford everything. Well, actually, it's more like cars everything. Oh, my grandma used to shoot squirrels. Then again, my grandma grew up in the Great Depression, so it was more necessity. Hey, hey, hey! Both sides of my family worked at Ford. I'm a Ford family person. Like, my grandpa was a manager at the Rouge for several decades. And like both my parents worked at Ford plants for summer jobs. My dad was or my other grandpa was a plant doctor. That's true, I forgot about the fudge. For some reason, I always miss the apple cider, but fudge and cherries, especially cherries, just I hate cherries with a fiery passion, and the fact that it's just like cherry everything in Michigan drives me batshit. I'm like, this was so good until you listed cherry as the fruit. Yas, fudge is the best. It's price wise, it's overrated, but is very good. But yes, it is expensive for like a candy. That's because it's normally only sold in like beach towns on the boardwalk, so you got town markup. There's like 4 fudge shops in downtown Petoskey. And when I was up there last summer to visit, it was my first time being there like in like peak season, which was a trip. But yeah, I was just like, oh, I could get fudge here. I could get fudge here. I could get fudge here. This is amazing. Yeah, so you just have some wrong opinions there. Wait, you want to eat brownie? Oh no! I forgot to change that setting. This keeps happening. I keep forgetting to change the setting. Let me see if I can change the setting. I'm changing the setting real quick in the bot. Oh wait, no, I hit the wrong link. Because that's one of those where I was being cautious in the settings. And then it turned out it was fine. Like, it's been more hindrance than anything, so. Ooh, Moobot has a new dashboard. Ooh. Spam filters is what it's under, I think. Oh, and you pooped again, Aqua. Thank you. Cool. Links are now allowed. So you can post links now, Andy. Or no, it was Val that was posting the links. You preening now, Aqua? I was gonna be like, because I want to click this link. This looks. Ooh. This isn't terrible in terms of like fudge pricing. I've seen worse. My thing is with fudge, I'm not into all these. Actually, let's see. Can I do the window capture? Yes, I can. Oh no, the window capture is over there. And someone is shooting things, like a BB gun or something. This is excellent. So we're gonna block Aqua for a little bit. So like all these like special flavors aren't really my shit. I tend to like things like chocolate and peanut butter. And that's about it when it comes to me and fudge. So like while I'm like, oh boy, this sounds amazing, I might go M&Ms or like want something with marshmallow. But that's why, well, Aqua can be over here. I needed to point out to you the things. So now I will minimize it and you can see Aqua again and her poop. Isn't that exciting? But it's like, that's why I don't really want to pay for fudge when I'm like, oh, it's the basic ones. Now I'm wondering what you. Oh, you sent me that bird. No, Aqua is very similar to that bird. I have had Murdoch's fudge. Murdoch's is what I bought up in Petoskey. That's the bigger one. Are you sleepy, Akiwa? She seems to be fairly done. Okay, now I gotta throw this back on screen. I'll put Aqua over. I don't know. She'll go over here while I throw it back on because this looks fucking delicious. Like, look at that. Oh, yep, because I had the sea salt caramel one. Yep, I did buy from Murdoch's. Like ye old peanut butter. Like, most of these I more fucks with. If I like cherry, I would go for the cherry, but like chocolate, I like maple fudge. Sea salt caramel I'll do. Like chocolate peanut butter is one of my favorite. Like, these are all more flavors I fucks with. Like, I won't do the key lime pie because that just seems weird. But yeah, most of these flavors I like. But the ones with the other one, what is it over here, where it was like all weird ones? Nah. That raspberry truffle does look damn good. That's because raspberry goes with chocolate, though. Like key lime pie. Oh, you are sleepies. You have to stretch to keep awake. But like key lime pie fudge just does not sound right. Boop. What? All I did was scratch you. But you gotta visit it for the name. Like, even just to take a picture of the sign. That seems worth it. I mean, if there's nothing else to do, you might as well go eat fudge, right? Boop, 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 boop. Wait, there's a burger bar in the fudge place? I'm very confused. Burgers and fudge don't normally go together in the same establishment. Hmm. You're just gonna get like ads for fudge for ages, Andy. Which, I mean, is it a bad life? Ah, okay, it's one of those places. Okay. Boop. What? Boop. Boop. Hmm. Hmm. Oh my god. Uh. Why is my phone going off? Oh, Val, I didn't realize you followed too. Sometimes I catch the like little notifications of following, and sometimes I don't. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, my dad would love that. Just like, oh, you gotta escape Uranus. You're gonna buy a Uranus fudge. Like, my dad would just laugh ridiculously hard at it. Oh, it wasn't gunshots, it was fireworks. It's not really dark yet, which is why I assumed they were gunshots. Fireworks are illegal here in Georgia as of like 2 years ago. And like I said, it's 68 degrees outside. And it is super damp, which means nothing's gonna accidentally light on fire. There's like 4 different levels of moderation within Twitch. There's the bot, there's the auto mod, which I always forget to look at. Oh, well, because I just opened automad mod, I do not see your message to allow it. Whoops. Yes, thank you. Okay, I think Aqua is done. She wants to go take a nap. So I'm going to sign off for you guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the Primo Aqua content and the ink review too, but we all know Aqua is more important than the ink review. But yeah, and thank you for introducing me to all this fudge, especially Uranus Fudge Company, just because of the amusing name. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.